Welcome back to Lariat TV News. We're excited to bring you the first newscast of the semester. I'm Marissa Muniz.
And I'm Jacob Stowers. To start off the school year, we have a recap of Governor Greg Abbott's visit to Waco.
This week, Texas Governor Greg Abbott hosted the State of the State Luncheon in Waco to talk about the current state of affairs in Texas. LTVN's Jacob Stowers has the story.
My name is Jacob Stowers, and I'm standing inside of Club Baylor at McLean Stadium to watch Texas Governor Greg Abbott and several other Texas state representatives give their thoughts on the state of our state. Governor Abbott addressed a variety of topics, including infrastructure spending, supporting small business, and his plans for education in the state of Texas.
However, before now, no governor has ever talked about a new number one. I believe Texas should be number one in educating the children of our great state.
While many people showed up in support of Governor Abbott, some chose to protest his presence in the city.
As far as Governor Abbott is concerned, he touts his business acumen and everything that is going on in Texas. And yes, in many ways we are booming, but in many ways we are not.
Governor Abbott emphasized the state's economic growth by reminding the audience about Texas's GDP of $2.7 trillion, which is larger than most countries.
There are only 7 countries in the world that have a gross domestic product larger than Texas. The United States, obviously, China, India, Japan, the United Kingdom, Germany, and France. And we are closing in on catching up with France.
Governor Abbott closed by highlighting how the state is assisting in rebuilding and revitalizing areas affected by the deadly hill country flooding that occurred earlier this year, with the state distributing over $50 million to homeowners who had any flood damage to their property.
Of the more than $50 million that's left remaining in that fund, they want to set aside a meaningful part of it to make sure they are going to be able to address the extraordinary and the unique mental health care needs of the families who've gone through a tragic event.
For Lariat TV News, I'm Jacob Stowers. Baylor football is carrying more than just grit into the 2025 season. Players are also carrying the memory of one of their own. This fall, the Bears will wear helmet decals honoring Alex A.P. Foster, a redshirt freshman defensive lineman who tragically lost his life in a shooting in his hometown of Greenville, Mississippi.
There's days that are better than others, but then it just, the anger to sadness to back and forth, and I think it's going to be there for a while, and so we have to kind of learn to live with it and move alongside it.
The Bears say Foster will forever be a part of the Baylor family, and this season, his legacy rides with every snap.
College can be stressful, but some Baylor students say faith groups, like The Table, are giving them a place to cope, connect, and find support. Savannah Ford has the details.
For many college students, the demands of classes and the pressure to fit in can feel overwhelming. But here in Waco, Baylor students are turning to The Table. The Table started just a little over a year ago, with 4 students around a coffee table. Today, it's grown into a thriving community, where dozens of Baylor students meet weekly for food, worship, and connection.
A place where people could come, students could come who maybe were far from home, or maybe they even live close, but just feel like they could have a home away from their own place, and just to have community, godly community to grow together, where somebody can be vulnerable, where they can be truthful with one another.
For these pastors who host the ministry in their own home, The Table is more than just a weekly event. It's about giving students a family in the middle of college life.
College it's so fun, but it can also be so lonely, they just were struggling to find that. They were feeling isolated. And so I think that going to a Christian community like this one is appealing to students because it gives them that family that they might be missing back home.
Students say that this kind of support has been life-changing, helping them reset and refocus when stress or isolation sets in.
There's so many pressures, like you said, of college life. We need to do our homework and all the stressful things, and there's so many opportunities. So it can get overwhelming. So really coming to Table is like a reset, and you're just doing what you're created to do, which is fellowship.
For Baylor students, The Table has become more than just a ministry. It's a family. For Lariat TV News, I'm Savannah Ford.
A new grab-and-go restaurant opened up this past week off of 6th Street. Salad & Go is a new drive-through restaurant that serves healthy meals at affordable prices. This new place notes that many people are gravitating towards a healthier lifestyle. They want to support the Baylor community by providing nutritious and affordable meals, one serving at a time.
So with Salad & Go, we really want to be able to provide healthy options at affordable prices for all. And so we don't want to just be in the major markets, we want to be everywhere. No matter what your zip code is, no matter what your income is, you can afford to come and have some healthy fast food options with us.
A group of Baylor student athletes had the opportunity to travel to Costa Rica this summer for a youth sports ministry project. Tatum Vickers has more details.
After a week of service in Costa Rica, the Baylor Sports Ministry team is back in Waco, but the impact of their work is still unfolding. From building a home to helping mentor young athletes, these Baylor students have been showing what it means to lead and serve both on and off the field. Baylor seniors Joy Wells and Carson Fryer were two of 16 women who traveled abroad this summer. For sprinter Joy Wells, the journey to Costa Rica was more than just a mission trip, it was a chance to witness faith lived out in new ways.
I think the main thing that I was looking forward to was just seeing God in a different area, like a different location, instead of just like what I'm used to. And I also wanted to try something different. So by going to Costa Rica, I wanted to see like how they did church, how their culture was, and like learning different things about their culture. And it was really nice. It was really beautiful, and I was very happy that I went. Yeah.
Similar to Wells, Fryer, a catcher for Baylor softball, said the trip broke unexpected boundaries and exposed her to the deeper connections formed through athletics.
For sure, considering the fact that we got to play soccer with a group of kids who live a totally different life than we did, we all had similar characteristics in the fact that I thought it was crazy how we were able to communicate and have fun, and we didn't even speak the same language. We didn't even get to talk. We just resonated under God, community, sports, athletics. It was truly inspiring.
From painting walls to playing pickup games, the experience offered a powerful reminder. Sports are more than just fun, they can also be a form of ministry and a common language across cultures. For Lariat TV News, I'm Tatum Vickers.
A Baylor researcher and his team of astrophysicists developed proprietary software for a new space telescope. Dr. Benjamin Rose and his team, in conjunction with NASA, developed a simulation. This will allow scientists to have a better understanding of what the new Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope will see and detect once it gets sent into space.
When something would take a month with Roman, it would take 1,000 months with Hubble to do. So that really just means that we can ask bigger and harder questions.
Coming up, Hamilton is on the big screen for the first time, but it's been in classroom discussions for a decade.
And get ready to check out how one Texas town celebrates its heritage. Keep it here.
Let there be light. Let there be roommates and teammates and strangers who become family. Let there be marching and cheering. Let there be challenging courses and time to share. Scholarship and championships. Let there be groundbreaking and soul-searching. Let there be laughter. Let there be joy. Let there be light.
In honor of the Broadway musical Hamilton's 10th anniversary, Baylor held a roundtable discussion on its impact on interdisciplinary courses, and I was in the room where it happened. 10 years ago, Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton debuted on Broadway, and the show immediately gained a massive fan base. The hit musical has changed the game, not only on stage, but also in the classroom. Teachers today still incorporate the musical into their lesson plans to keep students engaged.
It really hooks students, it gets them interested, and that's the great thing about not just the musical, but even like, historical movies or whatever. It hooks you, it makes you interested and go like, well, why is that? How is that? It makes my job much easier, and it also makes students interested, which is great.
Through rap battles, diverse casting, and modern storytelling, Hamilton transforms history into something students can actually see themselves in, not just another classroom lecture.
Really just like is able to bring in a story that a lot of people don't know about, but people have just like completely fallen in love with, and it brings it from such a human perspective, I think.
Gonzalez isn't the only one with this enthusiasm. Professors across the country have also noticed this.
I think it just connects like the side of history, American history, with something that we love so much.
With this amount of influence 10 years later, it is clear Lin-Manuel Miranda and Alexander Hamilton did not throw away their shot. For Lariat TV News, I'm Marissa Moniz.
As we enter the second week of school, students are already hard at work preparing for all the excitement of Baylor homecoming. Kendall Rickett floats you the story.
Baylor is approaching their 116th annual homecoming celebration, but Baylor takes their homecoming traditions very seriously. As we enter into the second week of school, students are already heavily preparing for all the festivities that come with homecoming, such as pigskin and float.
We just got back to school, and it's kind of crazy that it's already started and that it's already kind of being in full swing just with tryouts and then diving into full-time practice, just getting ready for October.
Pigskin is made up of the top 8 acts from Sing in the previous spring. But with seniors graduating and sophomores entering in, much preparation goes into getting these acts together again.
A lot of alumni will come to Baylor for homecoming, and they're all on the side cheering us on. It's very fun to see, the people that we knew who graduated 1, 2, 3 years ago, and see them again and hopefully put on a great float for them.
So much work is put into the beautiful floats that we watch drive by each year in the homecoming parade. These students often begin planning out their floats in early spring the year before. Homecoming marks a special time for alumni to come back and celebrate their time here at Baylor. But the work that the students put in to make this weekend happen months in advance does not go unnoticed. For Lariat TV News, I'm Kendall Rickett.
Baylor students are facing higher costs of living as off-campus rents continue to rise. Average rent in Waco has climbed from about $900 a month in 2016 to nearly $1,300 today. Apartments close to campus can run from $1,400 to almost $3,000 a month.
It used to be a bubble. They literally called it the Baylor bubble, and I don't think it's that anymore. I think that Baylor students are more willing to live further off campus. You all bring your cars, so it's not like a huge deal. So it kind of just made Baylor's prices morph into Waco's prices.
Experts say housing around Baylor will likely stay competitive, leaving students with tough choices about where and how they can afford to live.
Young Life College at Baylor is offering students opportunities this year to connect through community events and faith-based activities. Marin Small has the story.
This Thursday, Young Life at Baylor, also known as YLC, hosted a pizza party at Common Grounds as an introduction event informing students on what this club is and how they can get involved.
One of our taglines is called a Christian meeting for non-Christians, and so essentially it's a place where people from all different parts of their faith can come and find belonging, and the hope is that college students would come and find community, adventure, and significance through Young Life.
YLC is an organization that brings together college students in building genuine relationships while also keeping its main goal of ministry and sharing the gospel throughout the Waco community at the forefront.
I would say that the unique part about Young Life is that we always like to have fun. I think that for a long time, people think that you can't be Christian and have fun, but I think that Young Life gets to introduce students to a different way of having fun.
Many members of the staff are Baylor students wanting to give back to their community and inspire the next generation of YLC leaders.
The legacy that we want to leave is just to act like Jesus and to be known as an organization that just goes after everyone, that loves everyone like Jesus does.
For those who are interested, students can follow the YLC on their social medias to stay informed on their upcoming events. For Lariat TV News, I'm Marin Small.
Latinx Night took place on Thursday, September 4th in the Barfield Drawing Room of the Student Union building. These different organizations and clubs came together to introduce students what the Latinx clubs are all about. There were multiple clubs, such as Latinx Association of Science and Health, Kappa Delta Chi, and Omega Delta Phi. These clubs try to reach Latin students looking for a place to call home.
I think for me personally this night, this is honestly, right now what we have, it's a great showcase. I think whenever I came, so just last year I was a freshman, it was probably one of my favorite nights just because it really did show me that even though we are a PWI, like I still have a community here.
Last weekend, the City of West held Westfest, a festival that honors the town's Czech heritage. Aiden Richmond has the story.
I met Westfest, an annual event held north of Waco, bringing the community together through food, games, and music, all to celebrate Czech heritage.
I brought a few friends. One of them came the last couple years, and we taught him how to do some of the polkas and dances. And he ran the 5K with us. He really enjoyed it. Everyone that I brought has really enjoyed it. It's nice to kind of relax after your first week of school.
While the food and games are part of the festival, the crowd comes to life when they hear the music.
The music and the people are the two greatest things about this festival. You get amazing people that are in your crowds that are dancing and having a wonderful time. You have amazing musical artists that show up. Groups that I wouldn't even consider have ever been playing alongside and stuff like that. So,
Since 1976, Westfest has raised over $1 million to fund projects for the community, including athletic facilities for youth, senior citizens activities, a community center, and a library. For Lariat TV News, I'm Aiden Richmond.
Every fall semester, Late Night allows over 400 student groups to showcase themselves to thousands of students finishing their first week of classes. This event is the first time that many of the newest Bears meet with organizations from around campus and mark the start of their Baylor journey.
I mean, seeing all these tables and these organizations, it's super cool. I think it's really hard. You're gonna have to try really hard to not find something that you're not interested in or something you don't already like. So I think that's something so great about Baylor and all the organizations they have.
Next, we preview Baylor's football game with SMU.
And we highlight a former Lariat sports writer. Stay tuned.
The iconic voice of the Bears, John Morris, was recognized for his long broadcasting career. Brooke Cranford has the LTVN exclusive.
John Morris, also known as the voice of the Bears, received the Chris Schnuckel Award this past December. To Morris, this award is more than recognition. It's a reflection of God's guidance, his passion for Baylor, and the students he works with each and every day.
I feel like that this is the place God wants me to be. I really do. And I love Baylor, and I love what it stands for, and I love representing Baylor in the way that I get to do that.
For him, his job is an opportunity to share the gospel with everyone listening.
I'm just trying to do a good job every day, and again, represent Baylor every day. And it is just so good to represent Baylor in this way and represent the Lord.
This perspective has gained him respect not just in the Baylor community, but in the whole industry.
We all have our platforms, and I appreciate the platform that I have, to spread the good word and, again, to represent Baylor. So that's what I would say. I hope, I've done a good job.
When reflecting on his career, it is the balance of faith, family, and the Baylor community that always mattered most to him. For Lariat TV News, I am Brooke Cranford.
Coming off a loss to Auburn, Baylor football is looking to rebound against number 16 SMU. Last time the Bears and Mustangs met was in 2016, where Baylor made a statement, winning 40-13. SMU won its season opener on Saturday against East Texas A&M 42-13. Kevin Jennings threw for 260 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Bears struggled with run defense, allowing the Tigers to rush for 320 yards. QB Jackson Arnold had over 130 of those yards and scored twice.
I think the confidence hasn't left. Confidence is there. As far as getting the win, we need to win because we just put one to bed the last game. We're not more so looking at who the opponent or the ranking or not. We just need a win, and we're hungry for a win right now.
Kickoff is 11 a.m. Saturday at Gerald J. Ford Stadium in Dallas. One former Lariat staffer has had quite the career. I sat down with Shahan Jayaraja to talk all things journalism and football. Baylor alumni and former Lariat staff writer and editor Shahan Jayaraja got a start right here at McLean Stadium. Now Shahan works for CBS but credits a lot of his foundations and training to Baylor and the Lariat.
Shahan worked as sports reporter, sports editor, and city editor for the Lariat before graduating. He worked several iconic games in Baylor history such as the Fiesta Bowl, Cotton Bowl, and the 2014 TCU game. But those games weren't the most important things he took away from his time in the job.
The most important thing, if you want to be a writer, is to write and be edited by as many people as possible, by as wide a breadth of people as possible, and it doesn't necessarily matter how big the event or how big the sport is. It's really that you do it and you do it well.
Even though he is a national reporter now, Shahan says Baylor and covering football in Waco feels familiar.
Come here, and I still feel like I'm that I'm 21 and just a student doing a job. And so, but I think that it's also been really cool because as I've grown, I think that so has Baylor and so has the opportunity.
In terms of Baylor's 2025 team, Shahan is expecting a competitive and successful season, including high rankings in Big 12 standings.
Yeah, expectations are high, and they should be. This is a team at Baylor that is as talented as any that Dave Aranda has had, even since that 2021 team. Offensively, it would be a disappointment to me if they're not a top 3 unit in the Big 12. And I think Sawyer has a really good case to be the best quarterback in the Big 12 right now.
Shahan is currently serving as the first vice president for the Football Writers Association of America, with plans to assume the role of president next year. For Lariat TV News, I'm Claire Marie Scott.
There's a familiar face around the equestrian team this year. Megan Wood is back in Waco to fulfill her dream job as assistant jumping seat coach. Wood started her career at Baylor as a student manager from 2017 to 2019 before joining the team as a student athlete from 2019 to 2021. During her time as a Bear, Wood specialized in jumping seat, which includes English saddles as well as fences and flats as part of the competition. This role means something special to Wood as she is passionate about being an ambassador for the team and university.
This is truly my dream job, honestly. I love Baylor so much, and for it to be my job to get to tell other people how much I love Baylor and how great Baylor is, it is the greatest blessing in the world.
Number 20 Baylor Volleyball is gearing up to host the Baylor Classic this weekend, kicking off their home slate for the season. Last weekend, Baylor started off strong, going 2-1 at their matches in Baton Rouge. The Bears are expecting more wins to come with home advantage this weekend. Baylor is hosting games against Northwestern, St. Mary's, and Rice. This is the first meeting between the Bears and the St. Mary's Gales.
So just having them, the fans by our sides, competing obviously for the Lord, but knowing that we're representing something bigger than us is something that I am looking forward, and I know the entire team is looking forward to.
Matches began on Thursday with a 3-2 win versus Northwestern and will run through Sunday in the Farrell Center. That's all for sports this week. Keep up to date with the Baylor Lariat for in-depth coverage of this week's bout with SMU. Back to you guys. Thanks, Claire Marie. That closes out our newscast this week. Make sure you're keeping up to date by following all Baylor Lariat socials.
We hope to see you next Friday, and until then, have a safe week. And as always, Sic 'em Bears.